All right, calculus saves lives. Freshman year in college, I'm in some advanced calculus class. I can't remember which one, I just remember that it was hard. And this was one of those classes, it was at 8 a.m. either 2 or 3 days a week. Nobody wants the 8 a.m. class, especially not calculus. But point is, we had a really big exam this day. And we were studying for it, we were doing all the cramming and everything like that. Got up early, did some more cramming, and then probably had my usual Sprite and glazed donut breakfast, super healthy, and started walking to the exam. Now this class, because of the building that it was in, there was no bus that you could take to get there or anything like that. You kind of just had to hoof it. So we hoofed it to get there, and it's probably about a half mile-ish, maybe a little bit more. Get there a little bit early, sit down, getting situated at our desks, getting ready for the exam, and look, last minute cram, making sure calculator is good to go, etc. Look around, and one of our friends is missing. And I was like, no big deal, because there's still plenty of time before the test, probably just running a little bit late, forgot something, etc. And still doing the last minute cramming, and look up at the clock, and now it's 5 minutes to the test. That's cutting it kind of close. It's a little bit out of the norm for this particular friend. Usually he's there with us, cramming with us and all this kind of stuff, and had been studying with us prior. And so now all of a sudden my thinking's starting to change. I'm actually starting, like, all of my last minute cramming for the test is starting to go away, and now I'm starting to plan, how am I going to go back to get him? Okay, 4 minutes, dude. So now I'm like, okay, I ran track. I can cover half a mile in 2 minutes flat. But let's just say that I'm not at my top speed. So let's call it 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes there and 2.5 minutes back. Yes, I'm aware that's optimistic. 5 minutes. I'm only gonna miss 5 minutes of the test. All right, 3 minutes, dude. Okay, so 2.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 5 minutes, I'll probably miss the problem, right? I'm good with that. I'll be good with that. But I can't. I'm thinking about all the corners that I'm gonna cut and how I'm gonna do it. This is parkour wasn't a thing. This is more like free running. But I can't cut too many corners, because if I do and he's walking the other way, I might miss him. And so 2 minutes. Whoa, where is he? And all right, 2.5 minutes might be a little bit optimistic. So let's just say worst case 3 minutes. 2.5 there, 3 minutes back, something like that. 3, whatever, 6. All right, fine. I'm gonna miss 5 to 10 minutes of this test. Probably miss a problem, maybe 2. We'll see, but I'm good with that. 1 minute, the professor's there. She's getting ready to pass out the test 1 minute before the test starts. And then 8 o'clock, she starts passing out the test. Boom, I'm out the door. I just book it. It probably was just like a whirlwind of papers as I went out the door. And cue the music. Whatever it is, Mission Impossible, A-Team, maybe Greatest American Hero, whatever makes you laugh. And I am home. I'm jumping bushes, railings, everything I can, not going too far from the path, cutting the corners where I can, just kind of had it planned out. Cover the half mile relatively quick. Who knows what my time was? Doesn't matter. Swipe the card, get the door, in the dorm, run up the stairs to the floor, running down the floor. People are starting to wake up. They're coming out of the dorm rooms. What the heck is going on with Freeman? I go flying down to his room, and I barely even knocked. I knocked, barged in, and as I did, came screeching to a halt. This was not what I was expecting that I would see. Maybe in my mind, I was like, okay, maybe he fell asleep. He lied down for a second and fell asleep because we had all been up late studying. Or maybe, he just lost track of time. Who knows? Whatever it was, that was not what I found in front of me. Our friend was there on the floor, seizing. And it looked like he'd maybe just gotten out of the shower. And everything was not okay. And so it took me a second to just wrap my head around what I was seeing and get out of Mission Impossible. We went from Mission Impossible to this was now a rescue mission. And so I turned him on his side, and so that he wouldn't choke on his tongue. And then I yelled at the door. I was like, "Get the RA!" Because the RA was a medical student, maybe even a resident. I can't remember, but he was in med school, which was a good thing to have. And I called 911, and then fortunately, our dorm was the closest dorm to Duke Hospital, and it was so close, like right across the street, you could watch the Life Flight helicopters land, and so it was super close, not just a little close, but a lot close. And ambulance came, they grabbed him and took him off. There's so many things to say about what happened next. It's hard to even talk about it in any particular order. I remember talking to his family at one point and apologizing that I didn't run faster, or that I hadn't checked sooner, and they just stopped me. They were like, "Dude, you checked. You came back." And I think with everything that was going on, the thing that I would say, Rascal, this is one of those things that happens, a perfect example of you're not gonna remember the calculus test. I can't even remember if I went back to take the test. All I remember is my friend. And so in the grand scheme of things, those kinds of things, your friends and those relationships and all those things I have a direct comparison. I know which one's more important. I don't even remember the calculus test. It had no bearing on my life whatsoever. But I remember my friend, and I remember talking to his family, and I remember, unfortunately, there were complications, and it took him a while to come back, but I remember how excited I was when he came back. It was, in the middle of the second semester, but he did come back, which was awesome. And so that is also how calculus can save lives. So anyways, thanks for checking out another Living Freestyle adventure, and I will see you all for the next one.